Thanks for staying with us. So we're starting off Punch Review with power. What's happening with that?
So the federal government has paid $120 million out of the $1.3 billion owed to gas companies for the supply of gas to run our gas-fired power plants across the country. 70% of our power is generated from thermal power plants that uses gas, and the remaining are from the hydropower generating plants. The Minister for Power had mentioned that, this was coming at a huge cost, and he was suggesting the removal of subsidy. But because of this general blackout, like yesterday was our turn to have lights. But that yesterday, lights, we only saw God's light. Oh, God. By the time the moon came out. So this morning, we've seen God's light again with the sun rising. No light. So hopefully, with this payment, we can see things. But I'm wondering, a country well blessed with gas, we can't power thermal stations with the gas that is naturally
even a country blessed with solar too.
That's why you
have
direction. Instead of flaring, do an exchange of the product with the companies, rather than paying dollars for them to still get the product.
I have a story. It's a resident of Gonin-Gora, Chikun local government area of Kaduna State, on Thursday barricaded the Kaduna-Abuja Expressway, protesting the abduction of unspecified number of people in the area. They said the residents stormed the highway protesting and urging the government to do something because they've been having incessant attacks by bandits in the area. And according to eyewitnesses, they said kidnappers on Wednesday night through the early hours of Thursday had attacked the community, kidnapped unspecified numbers of people, and they operated, said it happened from 11 p.m. on Wednesday through to 3 a.m. on Thursday, and residents were trooping out to protest what they said was an audacity of the hoodlums to come to attack the area. And they said they operated uninterrupted for over hours without any security operatives intervening. So the residents had to now come out and, started protesting about it. And some of them said they were woken up by gunshots. The bandits entered the community shooting indiscriminately. So residents were, running to different destinations and were being attacked by the heavily armed, bandits that came in their large numbers. So because of the protest that they had to carry out, they said the joint task force of security operatives were now deployed to ease the traffic flow. And they said some areas, some residents in the area had fled the community to, unknown places. And government of the state was now saying that they should not take laws into their own hands. They understand what they are going through. They'll do their best to see how they can get security operatives to find the people who have been kidnapped and also bring, sanity to the area. But that the citizens and the residents of that area must not take laws into their own hands.
So you were going to say about the customs seizing drugs.
Yes. Now, the Nigerian Customs Service Area Controller for Oyo-Osun area, Dr. Ben, said that the command intercepted fake pharmaceuticals comprising augmentin tablets, amoxil, ampiclox capsules, all concealed in 53 sacks with a duty-paid value of 739 billion naira. It just shows you the size of what... And this worries me because you see that these are Nigerians doing this to Nigerians as well. I've had a case, I know someone whose sister was ill, just malaria, and she went to the pharmacy and bought a malaria drug. Unknown to her, it was fake. This whole thing ended up that she had to go to India. It was that bad. It ended up affecting her eyesight, affecting her internal organs. She went to India, and at the end of the day, she practically turned to a guinea pig because they said when the doctor saw her, they started calling themselves, come and see, what is this?
Oh, wow.
All from using one fake malaria drug. And it's sad.
I'm happy that the custom is responding to this. We always hear about NDLEA's bust, but we're happy to hear that custom is some of these things. And we should see prosecution all the way,
all through.
Just, I had to take my industry story. It was inside the papers. Land grabbers, the suspected land grabber terrorizing a Lagos State estate in the Ikorodu was arrested after Punch report. So Punch are taking this story there's a particular man called Unusai. He had a team of land grabbers, hoodlums, that were harassing people in Mosene village, Ishiu of Ikorodu area of Lagos State. The place is a Teachers Renaissance Estate, so it is owned by former retired teachers that are served within Lagos State, and these civil servants had been harassed. These hoodlums would come with different types of weapons and shoot into the air, and they were grabbing lands that for other teachers have not built on. There's a sponsor of one of their sponsors said they've cried several times on the issue, but finally they were able to get Punch to do a report. Upon Punch doing that report, they got threatened by UNUSA, saying that no matter how many reports you do, you will no person in Lagos State can carry him. That is very powerful. But kudos to the Lagos State police force, because they had arrested him on Wednesday. They said the police picked him up in the morning, and that was Wednesday morning, and they have reports that he's in custody. The Lagos State Director of Public Prosecution, Dr. Babajide Martin, has disclosed that the Lagos State's Land Grabbers Unit, because we do have a Land Grabbers Unit, because it's a major problem in Lagos State, that they receive as much as 7,500 petitions on land grabbers issues within Lagos State. They have arrested 250 land grabbers, and 60 cases are being prosecuted in court. So let us be patient with the court process as it takes place. Moving on to the next paper, Daily Sun, major headline. Tinubu angry with NLC, says calling for strikes in 9 months unacceptable. BC took that story already. Peter Obi slams the CBN's new interest rates. Benue confirms 9 deaths for the 6 cases of Lassa fever. And troops kill 974 terrorists, rescue 466 kidnapped victims in February. Airstrikes kill 3 top ISWAP commanders and over 80 others. Zulum warns against merging Army varsity with NDA, says it will help Boko Haram. The Senate approves bill to extend National Assembly workers' service time to 65 years. Reps propose mandatory drug tests for school students. And Nigeria must be decentralized, says Shoyinka. So what do we start with? Who has what?
Our troops. So I think they made a list of everything that they had achieved in the month of, military. Everything they had achieved in the month of February, and this is more like a breakdown. So the Defense Media Operations, DMO, said that the soldiers fighting in the counter-insurgency war in the northeast killed 974 terrorists and rescued 466 kidnapped victims. They also said that 1,157 terrorists and their family members surrendered to troops at various theaters of operation. So the DMO Major General Edward Buba was the one who made this known, and he said troops arrested 621 terrorists, recovered 1,573 assorted weapons, 23,345 assorted ammunitions, and denied the oil theft estimated at over 8 billion. So he, said this at a media briefing, updating on the military's operations conducted across the country in the month of February. And he said the armed forces is taking concrete steps to end terrorism and insecurity across the country. For us, I quote, creating a safer environment for citizens translates to elimination of all threats hindering the safety and security of citizens. And he's saying that Nigerians need to just endure the current economic challenges in the country, for today's pains will definitely be tomorrow's gains. He went ahead to do other breakdown. I just want to mention a few of them before I run off. He says they recovered 1,573 assorted weapons. Okay, I've mentioned that one. Then 640 AK-47 rifles, 248 locally fabricated guns, 93 pumps, actions, 168 Dane guns, 15,120 rounds of 7.62 millimeter special ammo, and a whole lot that was recovered. So, we had told them that we need to be seeing some of
their
the
feedback. So it's important we highlight it.
Amazing well done to our military,
Shema?
Yes. Benue. Right now, I really don't see anything, virus, fever, anything, But we have the story here, and it's about Benue State confirms 9 deaths and 46 cases of Lassa fever in the state. Now, no fewer than 9 persons have died in Benue State following the outbreak of Lassa fever, just as the state government has confirmed also 46 cases. the Commissioner for Health in the state, sent a text message to newsmen in Makurdi that 35 confirmed cases, out of which were 5 health workers and 4 persons from the internally displaced persons camp, the IDP camp. He also confirmed that 5 persons have died so far. Now, he also mentioned that that was the report as at that moment, and so they are currently monitoring the situation. They also said that they have buried those who have died in accordance with safe burial protocols across the various areas of the state where they hail from. So we really, really need to begin to be a little bit more proactive rather than reactive, even with our health issues.
Okay, so I have the House of Reps mandatory drug test for secondary school students. Yes, the House of Reps had a motion moved by Moshood Oshun at plenary yesterday, and the motion was mandatory in the Ministry of Education to collaborate with the Ministry of Health to develop a mandatory drug test for secondary school students. They said this is not a punitive purpose, but for preventive purpose, that, you know, the use of drugs amongst our young ones and teenagers at this time has raised the need for this. They're usually influenced by factors such as peer pressure, poor socioeconomic conditions at home, and all of that. And some of them resort to drugs. But I think this is a waste of time. I think that a mandatory drug test is not what they need, but an awareness of how dangerous the drugs are. Let's whatever costs go into this, go into raising the awareness. I remember how the Zip Up project worked for my time.
Yeah.
The HIV and all of that was from awareness. Nobody was testing anybody. Some of us just knew better to stay away.
Put the money into awareness.
Exactly.
Let me take the story quickly from Governor Babagana Zulum, who was speaking concerning the Oronsonye report. He said that he doesn't want the scrapping of the merging of the Army University and the NDA. This was, for him, going to empower Boko Haram. He said that the Army University in Biu, that, of course, Borno State has battled insurgency for several years, 15 years, and that the university in Biu, Borno State, has really helped, kept young people away from crime and giving them option of a better future, and that they are doing a whole lot of work. That's putting them and merging them with the NDA would only encourage Boko Haram. He also said that the Agric National Center for Agricultural Mechanization should also not be scrapped, because he visited the place in the Ilorin a while back, and that he saw a lot of fabrication of a lot of fabrication going on. Sadly, we won't be able to take any other story. I'll just read the headlines of Nigerian Tribune. Stop taking the nation for a ride. Soyinka cautions leaders. I thought somebody took that story, but we can't take it. Aggrieved residents block Abuja-Kaduna highway over bandit attack. Lured killed 7 women through dating app. That's from a suspect. I think people should read that story so that they have an understanding of how people lure with dating apps and they're able to take advantage. The National Assembly, Abba, sets up 23-member committee on Oronsonye's report. Federal government printed too much money. That's from Abia. And Atiku wants the entire power sector to open up for privatization. That's all we can take on Front Page Review for today. When we return, we have a sponsored segment. Stay with us. We'll be right back.